Hey Pip, you're in the right spot. If you're looking to maximize your quickness, your power, your consistency, this is where you want to be here today. Okay, so we've already talked about the corkscrew, right? And what the corkscrew, what it allows us to do, and it allows us to make that first move, okay? So I want to talk about that characteristic of leverage and why it becomes important for us, okay? So if I'm trying to maximize quickness, all right? Quickness is the piece right now, we're only talking physical swings right now, okay? What will become most important now when we begin to speak about maximum quickness is going to come whenever you realize what your pitch is. And your pitch can be different from pitch to pitch, right? Obviously, depending on the situation. So if I'm looking for a shape of a curve, if I'm looking for a fastball shape, what those items mean and such. So maximum quickness will occur, and if I'm in a leverage position, it's going to allow me to explode. Okay, it's going to allow me to be explosive to the ball. Maximum power occurs in conjunction with that idea of maximum quickness. It occurs when the body is utilizing that torque, right? Let me go this way, right? When the body is utilizing, excuse me for turning my head on you here. But I want to show you this, all right? So it's when I get into that corkscrew and it allows me to stay forward, okay? That is a torque force, right? When we are using leverage, and we'll get more into this when we talk about forward momentum, we're looking at two items, ideally, okay? We're looking at a horizontal force that is in connection here, joined up with this torque force, okay? And so, if I have a solid backside, let me show you this here again. Let me go here. If I have a solid back foot, and I'm going to move foot to foot. If I have a solid back foot and I can get to a solid front foot, I'm going to maximize power, okay? And then that would get us to that whole idea of maximum consistency. And that occurs whenever I am leveraged. Whenever I'm leveraged, I feel good about the leverage. I can control my midline. All these things that we've talked about. If you haven't seen those pieces, just go back. It's in the playlist. Okay, we just go back into those, and we'll do that. But it's an item, when I'm watching kids, it's easy to see good swings coming. And I talk about it being in the box, right? Like they're squared off, right? And like we can see good swings happen. And to me, it has like a square look to it. It just looks correct, okay? It's like gravity, okay? I don't see it, but I know it exists. And when we start to piece together consistently good swings, what we'll notice is like the backside's not collapsed. We'll see really good ideas. And that idea of that backside collapsing oftentimes happens when this knee gets into the middle of that back foot, pushes over, we see the back foot come up a little bit, toes might come up in the initial move, right? Something like that, right? But this knee to the middle of the foot will never allow me to get forward, okay? It will only create vertical force, and so I'll end up losing momentum, okay? So the idea is that we're trying to create that momentum, okay? So just a little bit more about what it means to pull out leverage. And so a lot of times when we're working on it, we'll do some things called Ishiros or whatever, and I'm going to turn this way again for you guys. So if I'm doing an Ishiro, basically all that I'm doing is I'm going to have my hitter pick that foot up, okay? It doesn't really matter how they stride or such, so if you want to tap into it, you can, but you have to be able to control the drop, okay? So for me, when we start to get into strides, all strides to me are falls, and I'll even include the nose stride in that. And we'll talk about that when we talk about those strides. And again, look in the playlist if you want to find it. But hey, Ishiros, and it's based on we come up. I want to be able to control my midline and control the fall. And if I'm throwing to my hitter, initially I'll start it on a tee. Okay, we don't even have to use the tee to begin. We can just do as I showed you just right there. But if we put it on a tee, and then what we want to do is visualize Visualize 70 miles an hour. Visualize 80 with a hump. Visualize 90 as a zipper, right? So all of a sudden it's like, right? So that would be, there's 90, there's 80, right? There's a little bit difference again here. So it would be right now, okay? So when I talk about leverage, we're talking about getting our body into a position where it can maximize the forces that are at play here in nature for us, and it'll maximize our ability for quickness, consistency, and power. Okay, if you thought this one was pretty good, please, leave a comment, click like or something like that, subscribe. But more so, if you thought it was worthwhile, please pass it along to a friend. Certainly appreciate that. And I'll see you right back here next time. Okay, and I think we'll start getting into some ideas of forward momentum. All right, talk to you soon.